Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at a scenario where Niger forms an empire. Welcome back to the Empire series. Today I spun a wheel and it landed on Niger. This wheel has the name of every country in the world in it, and the one who lands on it gets an empire. Let's get into this. So the first thing that's going to happen, guys, is Niger is going to go and declare war on Benin. They're like, we want sea axis and a coastline. Please give us your sea axis and coastline. Benin are like, no. And Niger, still troubled country, just say, you know what, we'll fight for this. But unfortunately, Niger is not a very strong country. They don't live up to their potential, and they have some very bad groups in them, troubling them. But no matter what, they start with a big, strong offensive in the north of Benin and start invading more and more into the core territory until Benin pull out a massive counteroffensive and they start pushing the soldiers from Niger back into their territory. At this point, they want to sign an armistice with Niger, but Niger believe in themselves, so they just go and start invading Niger's territory. This has a lot of bloodshed and it's a little bloodbath, but they don't care. Niger didn't want to sign the armistice. They actually felt bad for Niger, but Niger doesn't want to sign the peace, so this is what happens. So I asked ChatGPT, how do you call someone from Niger? He said Nigerian, and someone from Nigeria is Nigerian, so these are the Nigerians. I mean, makes sense, it was a French colony, so it's called Niger in French. Anyways, Niger was still pretty troubled at the point of when they decided to declare war, and their military was weird. They had like a weird military, but it was like all like this. Now it's something like this. They did retreat a little bit. They're kind of fighting in the desert right now. Like over here, it's 100% desert. Anyway, this is where their military sits in the light red, and they try to send them all over to the south to fight the light blue. The front line with Benin stalemates just in time for the Nigerian troops to go and start marching towards it. They start squeezing more and more through a smaller territory, and this is about like 50,000 men compared to Benin's 40 something thousand men too, and this is like a very bloody war. The situation starts looking more and more like this, with more military personnel getting cramped into the small area, and then they start getting ready to prepare for the counter offensive. So their troops are already stationed, and they're sure they're gonna make it and destroy this offensive and go back and capture Benin's capital and get their hands on the coast. But there's a but. When they start well, and their military starts doing pretty well until they do one wrong move. They try to encircle Benin's military over here, and they send like a lot of troops over here just to encircle it, and at the end they managed to, but Benin's troop managed to encircle the encirclement troops, who were a lot, and actually killed them all. And this killed like 10,000 men in Niger, and they get to go back north, and the border just looks just the exact same. And since Niger has less men than Benin, more and more pushes get made, and the stalemate is broken, and like most of the military is like gone right now. At the end, Niger and Benin decide to meet for peace and sign a peace treaty. At the end, in this peace treaty, now Benin know that Niger is troubled, and they want to make the country good, but they don't know what to do, and they're not going to be the superhero because they're like 5 times smaller. So they just decide to annex as much territory as they can and call it a day. Now, after this war, Niger is humiliated and very much angered by this situation region, and especially these borders, it's giving this. Oh my god. Yeah, I did it well. Look at it from afar. I did it so well, guys. But anyways, the Nigerians feel humiliated, and after this peace treaty, and after getting highly humiliated, they assemble all of their country's men and say that we're gonna fight back for Niger. They would have done this in French. By the way, guys, yeah, I do live here in Geneva, Switzerland, so I speak French because the French-speaking region is basically this. Maybe like more here, yeah. And this is all German. This is Italian. And when the world is the dead language of Romanche, somewhere here, I guess. But most of them speak German or Swiss German. Anyway, I speak French and German because I have to. Learned it in die Schule, school. Plus I'm Brazilian, so speak Portuguese. So wait, not the Brazilian. Portugal. Speak Spanish because it's the easiest language to learn if you're Brazilian or speak Portuguese remotely. I don't know any English at all. Like, oh my god, what happened to our map? Anyway, yes, I do speak English, as you guys may have thought in your brains. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. And I speak Hebrew because I'm Jewish. Don't judge me, guys. Please, be nice. I speak le Nigerian French. No, I'm kidding. Oh my god, all my countries' borders, all my languages' borders touch. So Switzerland would not be a language, nor Austria or Liechtenstein or Belgium. Look at all the countries that don't get. You know how you could do it? You could do this. I am learning Italian though, so soon, my Switzerland's gonna be full. I'm not gonna learn Romanche because it's stupid and useless. Like, when am I ever gonna go here to speak with the guys in the mountains in Romanche? Useless. Anyways, why did we get to this? We're in Niger. The Nigerians are mad, so they get to assemble toute la foule, which means the entire crowd or something. They assemble them all. I mean, new capital, because their old capital of Niamey was captured by the Beninians, so they lost some very core territory. So this is why they're feeling super humiliated. And so the entire, like, most of the country's population assembles in Maradi, and they make some pretty beautiful emotional speeches saying how Niger is not weak and they can't show their weakness to anybody, and how they can't get humiliated, and how they'll get it all back and make Niger great again and get a lot more territory than they had. Plus, they're gonna get the score of land taken by Benin, and they don't want it to be assimilated at all. So they're making a 5-year plan. 5 years can be a lot, can be a little for them. They're gonna count it at like a little and make the most of it, because they don't want them to get like assimilated and stuff, and like, welcome back to Niger, you know what I mean? So they get all of the people into this place. They set up huge military camps around the entire country. Like, I'll make the military bases so you guys can see. So yeah, here are all the military bases. They set up so many here. Here it's mostly desert, but they're sending everyone around, like, to each other. It's like this. There's a lot of them next to the border with Benin. They build more and more as we speak, because people gotta get trained to get it all back. Benin realized this. They want to keep this land. Just make it, no, I have to leave it as dark though, so we understand what's going on. They'll have some of them here, but not as many. But we're not looking at Benin right now, but they do build more and more just for protection and defense purposes. You know what? I'll leave the military bases here so we can see, guys. Anyway, after 5 years, the military is like bumped to 250 men or something, and Benin's at like 100,000, because obviously Niger has a lot more people and they can expand better and get many loans from China, who actually support them because they don't like Benin for some reason. So China just gives them money so they can do whatever they want to, and they want all of Benin for themselves. So this 5-year plan describes a 2-year war, capturing as much as they can from the territory that they lost, and then maybe trying to get a bit more, and then they stop, train, get stronger, maybe declare peace, and like 5 years later they start again. You know, that's what the plan is. Anyway, war is declared. We can't see the military camps bases that much, but it's okay. Here is where most of the military is in pink. It's a lot more structured and clear now, and they're sending them all over to the front lines to start fighting. They wanted this to be like a surprise. They just declared war before they tell everyone over here to start moving because they don't want Benin to know a lot. So now the troops move and cross the border into their old territory and say, welcome me back home, baby, and start invading Benin like super strong. They're very strong, and they like erase the military bases. Also, the borders are weird. Don't worry about it. I'll fix it. These are all the military bases slowly dying, as well as the border, but it's okay. And then after like a year, this is what the situation looks like. They did so well, and this is what the military looks like. It's all down in old Nigeria slash old Benin. They signed peace with Benin, threatening to capture more, requesting all this extra land from Benin. And in this peace treaty, Niger pulls the major Uno reverse card on Benin, annexing a lot of its north, but not as much because they took back a lot of land. This is what Benin looked like. Yeah, something like this. So they got quite a big chunk, but they mostly worked on getting back what they lost in their old capital. But this is gonna stay the new capital forever. Anyways, they signed peace with Benin, so they're no longer at war with them. And you know what, guys? I like the idea of the military bases, so I'm gonna keep it instead of just erasing them. They start building little military bases close to the border with Benin because they want some more. They're hungry. And then they set up a dual capital system with Niamey and Maradi. So Niamey is this capital over here, and Maradi is this one over here. Anyways, they start with the military bases more and more because they want to get a lot stronger than Benin and just obliterate them. So this is what the map looks like now. There's not much over here because not much is happening there anymore. The thing is with Benin, they want to be a coastal empire, you know what I mean? Anyways, 5 years later, look at their military. It looks like this. So in 5 years, they've expanded a lot, and like 5 months later, it looks like this. So they push everything cramped into the south. Eventually, it just ends up looking like this, and then it just ends up looking like this. Of course, they need protection of the capital, but yeah, it looks like this. But exactly 5 months later, all like 450,000 troops are stationed over here, ready to invade Benin again. Yo, Benin, welcome back. Someone's hungry for you again. And Benin also have a dual capital system with the Cotonou and Porto Novo. Very Portuguese. Anyways, troops from Niger walk across the highly fortified border with Benin, and they march across the border. Then they start invading into more and more territory of it, even touching Togo. They start surrounding it a little bit from both sides and want to go south to grab the capital. Eventually they choose and decide to meet in the middle, so they start two little spearheads until they connect and cut the country into two. The northern part tries to survive on their own, and they kind of manage to. Once upon a time, they managed to connect with Togo again and get more and more supplies from them. Eventually they get surrounded and have to run away into Togo, but this is what the north looks like. Even they declare their independence from the south and from Niger. So Niger go to war with them too. Same thing happens in the south, disaster. They declare independence from the north and from Niger. Anyway, the stupid stuff goes on. They start a very big front and slowly but surely capture the south. It's been a year since they started this war. The North is getting more and more obliterated, getting cut into 3, and each part declares its independence from the North and Niger. So this is what it's looking like. Weird stuff is happening. Anyway, Niger doesn't care, and they just declare it as their own unity. This is what it looks like to Niger's eyes. It's all Benin that we want to murder because they got our territory and now we're getting it back. They humiliated us badly. Anyway, this northwestern part is liquidated. The northeastern part almost dying, and the southern and now they're getting very near the coastline. They see some water. They capture the capital of Porto Novo and they capture the capital of Cotonou. The south surrenders, and these two in the north like try to declare their independences to like stay alive, maybe be a union and dominion. They ask for like ownership of this corridor so they can still be together, but Niger don't care. They're like, you guys are Benin and we don't like you, and so they capture all of Benin. And in this peace treaty, Benin is fully annexed by Niger. The next thing that's gonna happen in this scenario is Niger requesting Togo hand all of the land south of this line. Togo are like, no. So Niger is mad and they declare this land theirs. Rightfully so theirs, because Benin is now theirs and they offered it to be a dominion, but Togo said no, and Niger are like, we're suing you. And troops from Niger just go and cross into and capture the full coastline of Togo, including its capital of Lomé, and more is captured, and they just accept to give over the south to Niger. But Niger are like, no, you guys said no to us, remember? We're gonna get all of you. And so they just are like, we don't like you, so we capture you. Togo try to capture back some land then, but it's not gonna be very useful as it's captured back and quickly assimilated into Niger. Anyway, the rest of Togo are like, okay, whatever, there's nothing we can do about this. Try to meet for peace. Nothing happened. They get more and more obliterated, so they just decide to surrender. And in this peace treaty, Niger sets up a couple of puppet states in northern Togo while annexing the full south. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 puppet states. Basically, they mean to annex this, and this, and leave this as their standing puppet state and buffer state zone with Ghana. But, well, yeah, that's it. And they want to annex the rest one day. But they just want to wait till it's a bit like more assimilated. After waiting a couple years of tea break, they start building more and more military bases on the border with Burkina Faso. You know the drill. Eventually, they'll declare war on it, and this capital, I know it by heart, it's Ouagadougou, in the heart of Burkina Faso. I don't think they're gonna capture it. Spoiler alert. But anyways, I put the wrong color for the puppet state. I'm so sorry about that. I thought the color was wrong, and now I'll have to freaking fix this border. 1 second, guys. Okay, I tried to retrace it as well as I could. Anyway, these puppet states weren't very well included. I mean, they were included. They had to fight because they're puppet states, but these were the most included, the ones on the north. And so troops from Niger immediately storm in and cross the border into Burkina Faso, bombing and destroying everything they see. But these are the good Nigerians, not the terrorists. And here is the small invasion from the puppet states, who are gonna get compensated after this. Normally, I mean, they are. Can I already tell you that? Anyways, Niger is proud of their little puppet state, so they start invading the north, but they don't want to be jealous that much, so they start like surrounding their push, and they manage to surround their push, so they can only get a little bit. This backfires as their military is not the strongest military in the world, and Burkina Faso's military can easily push them back, and this becomes a very big exclave of Burkina Faso. The other puppet states get involved to push them back, and in order to keep morale safe, Niger just opens up the border so they can pass through and escape. So since they get the right to escape, the puppet states can go back and push some more in order for all the troops to go and protect Ouagadougou, the capital, from any threat. You guys, I told you that Ouagadougou was probably not going to get captured today. Well, see, I was wrong, as Nigerian troops are close to the capital. little and they push through it until they end up capturing it. After this, Burkina Faso just surrender and they want to see the peace treaty and get as much as they can. And in this peace treaty, a huge puppet state gets created for Burkina Faso. Could even be larger than Switzerland. Plus, Niger annexed all these lands east. You can see the border of Burkina Faso just like this because all the military bases were there. Let's have a more, yeah, this color is more visible. This is what Burkina Faso looks in 2025. What used to look in 2025, sorry. And at the end, they're just peaceful with Burkina Faso. Plus, the two little puppet states get expanded. Anyways, it's time for the puppet states to hold a referendum, choosing if they'd like to remain a puppet state, unite with another puppet state, unite with another country, or unite with Niger. And Niger can do whatever they want with these election results, and then they'll choose what to do themselves here in Maradi and Niamey. At the end, these three puppet states, they're very poor, and they decide to join up with Niger to get more money and to be safer and to get more freedoms, because these are very restricted because they're kind of a puppet state. This one here, it cooperated with both Niger and Togo, so it doesn't know what to do. Should it unite with New Togo or with New Niger? They end up uniting with New Niger. Like, maybe it was like 50-50, so Niger were like, you know what, since it was less than 60 for them, we'll take it. And so this is what it looks like. You can clearly see the older borders of Niger from the military bases. You can see that it was just like this. Yeah, exactly that. That is old Niger. Anyways, next thing they do is they decide to chop Ghana in two as well. They're like, yeah, Ghana, we're gonna make a good, better puppet state out of you. So you give us this little part of your territory. It's small, it's not core. Just give it to us and we're not gonna have a problem. Ghana are like, excuse me, what the hell? At first, they're like, nah, this is mine. But when Niger declares war and just starts speed running, steamroll it through its territory, like doing all of this in 1 week, Ghana are like, okay, maybe we should give half of the territory, but half is no longer up for grabs. It's 100% of Ghana or nothing. A huge surrounding happens and all of this gets captured. Niger gets super strong. Nothing else is gonna happen good for Ghana. They lose a coastline and yeah, they surrender and meet for peace. And this over here is the border that they have to settle with. This one, they get 2 pixels that are light red and Niger gets so many blue pixels. It's that or like more war and destruction and the end for us, for them, like, you know. This part gets split between the puppet state of Burkina Faso and Togo, and this part gets 90% annexed by Niger and 10% annexed by Togo. Togo is getting a bit bigger. Yay, Togo. They want to leave a bit of coastline for the puppet state that they're gonna leave in here. So they just annex a bit more of here and the rest gets set up into a puppet state regime. So this is what the peace treaty looks like. They annex a bit more over here and the rest gets turned into puppet states and puppet states. But since they want their territory to look better and fresher, they're like, you know what, puppet states, y'all are gonna become mine just for the beauty of the map, you know. And so they directly annex the puppet state of Togo immediately. It's assimilated enough. Like, both regimes are very similar because it's kind of a puppet regime. And Maradi and Niamey said so it's all gonna get controlled by it. Anyway, then the next puppet state that's gonna get annexed like 1.5 months after is gonna be the puppet state of Burkina Faso, including Ouagadougou. Ouagadougou, major Nigerian city. Oh my god, am I offending you guys from Burkina Faso? I'm so sorry. Sorry for the voice too. Listen to my voice. It's kind of dead. Anyway, it's winter. Partying in the mountains is fun, guys. And then 6 months later, the puppet state of Ghana gets unilaterally annexed into the nation of Niger. Everyone's like, what the heck? Look at this country outside of Niger, Ghana, and the rest of Burkina Faso. The rest of Ghana Ghana and the rest of Burkina Faso unite. Why do I have different shades of white? Hello? Okay, it's just there. And so, wait, let me delete this ugly military bases. They were useful, but now they're ugly. Here it is. Bam, 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 bam. I can play with it. Okay, just leave, because now it's the end. And here is our perfect empire of Niger. They're working stronger and harder and taking advantage of their location, working more on the desert and taking advantage of this huge coastline they just got. Let's compare this Niger to other countries in the world. Look at it over like the rest of Africa. It's like, is it the biggest country compared to Algeria? Maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. But it's fine. Look at it compared to Europe. Over Europe, it's gigantic. Compared to the US, it's bigger than the biggest states. Look at it over Alaska, like it's huge. Central America, South America. I mean, South America is big. Okay, guys, look, it's huge. No, this is cheating. So here it is compared to Asia, very big country, and Australia. I didn't say Asia's a big country. I said that Niger's a big country, by the way, just to avoid confusion, guys. Anyways, let's put this flag on this country. Okay, guys, I did it as good as I could, as well as I could. Sorry, my English is not Englishing. Let me just do the green right now. All right, perfect. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you all so much, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.
Norway's head of state.